Alright, that should be better. Let's see. We're good, guys. We're fantastic. We got it up and running. You guys can hear. That's been kind of the latest problem I'm having when I do this is sometimes I forget that I turn off all the mics when I'm not doing this. Sometimes I just don't like to... I'm kind of paranoid in that aspect. I'm very paranoid when there's a possibility that someone could possibly be listening to me. And that just kind of terrifies me a tad bit. So I kind of turn it off as a way to succumb to my OCD. I mean... But hopefully you guys are seeing the same thing I'm seeing. Oh yeah, just gonna have a little bit of a weird thing going on with the screen, and hopefully it isn't too much of a pain. All right, so sorry for not being active. I have no idea how long I've not been active on this channel. You know. It's the type of thing that you do, and then you wait a couple of days, and you do it again. That's kind of how this goes. This is exactly how this little channel goes by. You see that I don't really post that much of like videos and gameplay is because that stuff takes time. That stuff takes work and time that I have not had. So I apologize if you are really looking forward to stuff like that. I definitely am working on something though. Alright, I work on it and when I have time to work on it. So yeah, but so first I just want to apologize if you're like new to this channel and you think that I'm going to be like hardcore every single day. I used to, guys, I used to do this every single day. Not necessarily like this face-to-face stuff or even talking about The Last of Us. It's just... I just made videos, but like The Last of Us Part 1 Factions videos, like every day. And I told you guys almost, you know, I would say weekly as I was making these, that it was going to change the moment I started growing up. Like when it became like going to college and education and, you know, seeking and searching for what I want to be. Those are things that I knew were coming, and I knew those were going to be things that I was going to be dealing with. And hopefully you guys, because there's not that many people that really remember me saying that, because I haven't said it in such a while, because I've been busy for a while. So I wanna talk about two things today. Two things, and they're kind of all linked in the same day, or at least fairly closely together when they were both released. And as the first one you can see, The Last of Us has been nominated, has had a staggering 11 nominations for Game of the Year. All right, that's something, man. I'm not kidding. That is something. It's not necessarily, I don't think it's the official thing. I think that's in December 10th. I haven't had that much study. I literally just looked it up, and I'm looking at it right now, and it was at a certain other place. It wasn't really the one where it was official. That's how they're calling it, I guess. But the thing about this is this game is so divided, and the community is so diverse. It's been completely just sawed in half, and you just could anticipate. You know, you can anticipate just a storm. You know, I just anticipated and expected a storm of just complete, like, people who are like, that is ridiculous. That's insane. 11 nominations for Game of the Year. And maybe because, one, they believe the game The Last of Us Part 2 sucked, and two, another view of theirs is that, you know what, no, there are other games out there that are better. And they would probably bring up like Ghost of Tsushima or Watch Dogs Legion or even maybe Call of Duty. I mean, that Call of Duty game looks pretty good. I'm thinking about getting that game because it actually feels like Call of Duty. Actually, it makes me feel like I was playing Black Ops again. Back to the point. I didn't even expect to. I didn't even expect for The Last of Us Part 2 to win really anything, which I know it sounds messed up, and that I have such low confidence, not in Naughty Dog and their ability to make a great game, but more, I think that when they are trying, because as a writer, as a creator, I respect largely doing what you want to do for your project. But there's a huge sacrifice in doing that. When you do a big step like they did, you're going to lose people, all right? You're going to, because they don't like it, all right? They made a game that they wanted, a game that they loved, and a game that I have found to love. And because I am not okay, once again, I'm not okay. I've said this before, I'm not okay with waiting as many years as I have and being passionate about this very game and then being disappointed in the end. I am not okay with that, and no one ever who loves this game and is passionate about it as much as I am should ever be okay with that and content with that. And so they made a big step to where there's a sacrifice, and that is a loss of a lot of fans. And I was thought for sure that the loss of the interest of so many fans, I thought for sure that this game was going to be one of the most hated games, and they were not going to win any nominations. That was my focus. That was my mindset. That's what I thought, but I was completely proven wrong. I mean, 11 nominations for Game of the Year, and does this game deserve it? Yeah. I mean, in my mind, I love this game. I loved it. It wasn't fun to play. The story itself was just brutal, and you really sometimes just hated playing it, because even I think it was Neil Druckmann that even said it. He said that this game isn't fun. It's not supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to enjoy the story. It's a very dark and dramatic and traumatic story, and there's really no happy ending. Really, it's The Last of Us Part 2. So. Obviously, people were that's the big step. That's the big sacrifice. And once again, I give them props and I give them respect for what they did, because what they did was that they just simply loved the story that they wanted to write. Because if they didn't, then it wouldn't really be The Last of Us Part 2, because the same guy who wrote and directed the first game is the same exact guy who directed and wrote the second. All right, so it isn't like this big giant change of direction. All right, in the sense of the director. Okay, the director is exactly the same guy. So yeah, I mean, I think that this game, obviously, I love this game because I in my mind, I have to love this game. I am not content with not being okay with this game, because I need to be okay with it. I need to be content. As long as I've waited and as long as I have been passionate about this game for years, I deserve to have that contentment with this game. And I am. I am very content with the game. I'm extremely content with it. And that's why I'm kind of making this video, is to tell people that this game is once again, as a writer, I don't know how they did what they did in the game. I don't know how they did that. It's a bold move. And to be honest with you guys, the colossal problem that the majority of players have with this game is the fact that the main character from the first game dies immediately. All right? He dies in the first couple of hours. Actually, it's his death that launches the entire game. I mean, it's pretty hard to forget. And so while you're playing this game, that's on the back of your mind the entire time. And it's like, man, this game has been so hyped. This game has been so hyped. And when a game is so hyped, you build your own expectation. You build the building of your expectations so large that when you actually get to see the structure, it's like, man, this thing wasn't big at all. Not as big as I thought it was going to be. Now, I had that too, okay? All right? No, a lot of people were disappointed in this game, and I at first was, okay? I'll be honest with you, I was first disappointed with what the direction this game went. I really was disappointed. Because, once again, getting rid of Joel was like the huge step forward. It was so just so traumatic for me. And it was traumatic for a lot of us, and it still is today. And one of the reasons that Neil Druckmann didn't go down the path of Ellie looking for another immune individual, because that was their first, I believe that was their first choice of direction with the game. It was with Ellie trying to find someone. She heard of someone who was immune, and she went out looking for her, or him or her, whatever it may be. And they didn't go with that. He didn't go with that. Why? Because it would have had like this ability for a great story, but it would have the absence of something that the first game had, which was this ability to give you emotions. True emotions, where you actually fell in love with the characters, and you missed that part. And they didn't want that. They wanted to grab that from the first game and put it into the second game. It reminds me a lot of with Sarah. Like Sarah, she died like immediately in the game. Okay, she died immediately in the game, and we didn't really care. We weren't as heartbroken over her as we are with Joel in the second game. We're not. Why? Because we didn't really know her that much. We didn't love her the way that we love Joel. So what they did was they kind of grabbed a character that was so loved and took him out of it to give you real grieving emotions. All right? If The Last of Us Part 2, if that death that really kind of just threw Ellie into this dark path of hate and vengeance, just with a person we didn't even care about, a person that we wouldn't even mourn over if they died, then where's the emotion? It seems that once again Neil was trying to grab this emotion, this story that could create this realistic emotion of grief and show you where grief will lead to for some individuals. Some individuals will kill. They will murder. They will go out and try to pave their own way for justice. That's just how some people are. And to say that it isn't, well, you're living in the world. Of course people have done it. It's just one of those things that when we approach The Last of Us Part 2, we have to be careful that we don't undermine everything that Naughty Dog has done in this game, because they have done some great things in this game that I don't think they get enough credit for. I simply don't. I think people don't really give them the credit that they have the gall to do what a lot of creators, developers, and even writers don't even have the guts to do. I think that's a big injustice to giving them the credit they deserve. The gameplay, the combat, the story was just simply dark, and it was not fun to play. And I think that was their intention. And I've said this before, as a writer and as a creator, you have to have this one piece. And you got to have this one thing in mind. This has to be your mindset. If you do not love this game, and if you don't love your project, your piece, the project that you're working on, either be a video game, a book, an article, whatever it may be, if you're not passionate about it, do not expect anyone else to be. All right? You just simply can't. You are to be more passionate than anyone else. Anyone who ever will be passionate about your project, your stuff, your story. It should be you. And if you create it and it's not the way that you want it to be, and you had one vision for it, but somehow you got different results, then in my eyes and a lot of people's eyes, you would even say, you know what, that was a complete waste of time. And you failed as a creator. But that's not what they did. They created a game that they loved. A game that they really, what they wanted. And so they achieved their goal. They created the vision they had, which means they didn't screw it up. So technically, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad project because they reached the goal that they were trying to get. Now, if they didn't reach the goal they were trying to get and they got different results, then yes, that would have probably been one of the biggest mess-ups ever. But even then, if a person likes a game, even if it got different results, it all depends upon opinion. It can't depend upon one person's opinion over a project, over a piece of art. You know, you can go up to like an art museum and you can look at abstract art and you say, oh, I like that. But then you have over here another guy who just likes simply like flowers and, you know, just basic painting. And he said, I like that. You know, gaming, writing, it's all a trait of art. It is all based upon what you want and what you like. To say that The Last of Us Part 2 sucks and that's fact is completely wrong, and that is not true at all. Because it's an opinion. You can say it sucks. You can say it sucks all you want. But you cannot say that it's a fact. And once again, it's just saying here, it just goes to show that people like the game. Obviously, there are those that are not so happy with how it came out to be. Even I do not like the way that it came out to be. But once again, I found a way to love the game. I've come to terms how I like the game. I like it, and I'm always going to like it. And excuse me, guys. And I just want to see. Yeah, just check it, guys. Just checking. We're just checking if it was still working, and it is. But you guys see what I'm talking about, all right? You see what I'm talking about? Why video games, any piece of art, is just it's a matter of opinion. That's what makes art so interesting. That's what makes music interesting. That's what makes any type of form of entertainment or any type of art so great, is that it's multiverse. It has multiverse personalities, meaning that it's literally people have their own personality and they like what they like. You know, some people may like it and then some people may not. And that's just simply the thing. I like movies and TV shows that are very dark. Not because I like having my heart broken, but because it leaves a mark on me. You know, I can remember the emotions it gave me. I can remember the emotions it gave me. I can remember the grief. I can remember the mourning. I remember the time of excitement. And just when my heart just got gut-wrenched. All right? I remember those things. I remember those movies. I remember those TV shows. Those that don't make me feel anything, I forget about them in like a couple of weeks, you know, or even a couple of years even. You know, I forget them very, very fast. And that's why I like these other ones where it makes me feel things. Real emotions. And that's why The Last of Us Part 2 to me is one of the greatest games, because it made me feel. Not many people and many creators can do that in any project. You know? And it's not that I don't like video games like Doom. Doom is just like filled with action pack, or like God of War, and I'm talking about old God of War, but the new one too. Just filled with just complete just entertainment and joy and fun and just action. I love those games too, but there's another part of me as a writer and just simply someone who likes stories, likes to have my own preferred storytelling. You know, I wish they did more with Joel. Yes, I wish they did more with him. But I can't change the fact that they didn't. Alright, so for me, I do not like having my time wasted. So I simply just say, you know what, I was determined to find out how I can be content with this game, but at the same time wish it was different. Alright? That's just it, man. That's it. That's all that you have really to come to, is to come to that place in your mind where you are content to how the game was, and just still have a little bit of disagreements, to have a little bit of your own thoughts. Okay? And that's kind of how this leads up to the subject. The very first subject we're talking about, okay, is them being nominated. It was because a lot of people, a lot of people have hated this game very, very passionately, but there's also people who love this game passionately. It's divided. Not everyone loves this game. Heck, The Last of Us Part 1, some people didn't even like that game. I had a friend of mine who wasn't that he didn't like it, he just couldn't get into it. And obviously he's sitting there, I'm like, man, you're crazy, man. But also, and then there's other people who said, and she was like, well, according to the internet, it's a survival horror game. So it's, the word horror there kind of gave it away to her, and it struck instant fear and hesitation in her heart, where she was like, no, I ain't playing no game that has horror in it. She, once again, it's just, people don't, it's all preferred. It's all opinion. It's all based upon an opinion. And to hate someone and say that you're wrong for liking such a game, what you're basically saying is that my opinion will always trump yours, and I'm always right. Which is not the greatest way of approaching this topic. The way that I'm dealing with this is based on my own thoughts and what I like in a game or a movie or a TV show, any type of form of writing. It depends on it. It depends on what it may be, and what the mood I'm in for. But I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts basically on The Last of Us Part 2 having 11 nominations. Because last time I checked, they had 9, and then apparently over some time they got 11. And I was very shocked with the 9. I was very shocked, and I was like, okay, that's probably the most they're going to get. And even though I was surprised, but then I just read it, 11 nominations. 11. They got 2 more nominations for Game of the Year. Would I be surprised if Last of Us Part 2 won Game of the Year? Yes, but not because the game sucked. Simply because how many fans hated it, and how divisive it is. That's why I would probably doubt that it'd be Game of the Year. That's pretty much it. But you also got to understand that, once again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. They can say whatever they want. That's the great thing about being in this country. You can say whatever you want. In the confines of the law, by the way, you can't just say you're going to kill someone and try to go do it, and then that's it. You can't do that. That's threatening. That's premeditated murder. Okay, you can't do that. All right, but you can say and believe whatever you want. But you should have boundaries. You should have some ounce of respect and honor and integrity and dignity when you come to this. And that's why if you don't like this game and you hate The Last of Us Part 2, more power to you, man. I understand why you didn't like it. Not many people do. And I don't know what else to say other than that, but I do respect every person who's played this game and has given their own opinion for it. And I even respect you even more for sticking by it. But there's a difference between having an opinion and standing by it than having an opinion and hating everyone else because you don't have the same opinion. There's a big difference. All right. So if you hate this game, then don't like it and stand by it. But respect the people that don't. And if you're a person who loves this game, do not go around and hate other people for not loving it, as if there's something wrong with that person. And I made a joke about that a few minutes ago. That was a joke. I didn't really mean that, something's wrong with that dude because he didn't like The Last of Us Part 1. And that's just it, man. There's nothing else that you can really do in this situation because people don't really like certain things, and you can do whatever you want. You can have your own opinion. It's all right to have a different opinion than everyone else. It is a terrifying time. We're in a community that literally we cannot share our own opinion because we're afraid that we're going to get hate by everybody else. Okay? A fact is something that happened in the game. Like if they said, you know what, Joel didn't have his daughter die on his birthday when the outbreak happened, we could say, no, you're wrong, because why? It's a fact. It happened in the game. It's a fact. You can't say that about how good the game was, because it all depends on opinion. And I know I'm saying this a lot because I wanted to get this into your head because many people miss this. All right? Many people miss this. And so it's all about opinion. And that's the great thing. You can have your own opinion. You can be interested in anything you want. It's just when you start pushing that on other people, and it's kind of you either with me or against me mentality, where you either like it or you don't like it. And if you don't like it, then you're just not one of us. You just can't be near us. I won't be nice to you. You're just an outcast. And you're just the known pariah of the community. So there's a lot of problems with when we don't like something. We tend to be very hateful to those that did. And those that do. And sometimes people make videos that are just hysterical to me. They're hysterical to me. Some people make videos hating on The Last of Us Part 2. It's funny. I really find it funny. Not in the sense of, not at all in the sense of mockery, but just something funny because some guys are just like, they're just funny, man. I really find entertainment in it. And so yeah, I mean, I'm not a big giant dude on hating people. I'm not a big dude on that. I don't like hating people. I don't like pushing things on people unless I really, really believe that person needs to hear that. And same thing for me. Sometimes I get out of line, right? But that was the first thing. So 11 nominations for The Last of Us Part 2 for Game of the Year, apparently. And man, I forgot, man. I have to look at this again because I don't think it was the one from December 10th. I think it was different. Okay. At the Golden Joystick Awards. Okay. That's the thing. That wasn't the thing. Not on December 10th. That was a different thing. On December 10th is where I kind of think it's kind of official. But they've been nominated 11 times. That's pretty good. So anyways, guys, I really just want to get that out there, that if you have an opinion about this game, and I encourage you to stand by it, just don't hate everyone. Don't hate everyone that doesn't have that same opinion, man. There's no excuse for that. There's a difference if you're trying to make fun and trying to make money off of it. I guess you can do that, especially if you're trying to just be comedic or comedic, whatever, comical. Excuse me. Comical. If you want to be that way, then that's cool, man. That's cool. Just don't. Once again, you have the freedom to do that. I just don't think that's the best thing to do. It isn't the best thing to do. So, but anyways, let's see. The next thing, it was something that the day that came out, I think. Gustavo Santaolalla, he right after that this game was nominated 11 times for Game of the Year, he kind of put something on Twitter that was kind of interesting. First it was just giving thanks to Naughty Dog for him being a part of both the games and this game in general for being Game of the Year. And near the end of the tweet, he says it's just beginning concerning The Last of Us Part 2, regarding The Last of Us Part 2. It's not... The thing about all this, man, is Gustavo Santaolalla, he's very... sometimes... I don't know if he's a reliable witness. I don't know if he's reliable, I really like the man. I really like that he put the music in there. I love the music for Part 2. It's great. He did a great and wonderful job on it. I just don't know if he's really necessarily reliable, because there were times where he said it was coming out in 2019. The Last of Us Part 2. He thought it was coming in 2019. I think even a time he said 2018. And both times he was kind of wrong. And I think that was more not necessarily his fault, but it was them changing the dates, So yeah, I mean, So it's just one of those things, guys, that I just I don't know if he's reliable. And so him saying something new is coming, or there's more stuff. It's just the beginning. Obviously, he's talking about Factions, because we already know that Factions is coming out sometime in the unknown time. I would really like to know when it's coming out, because I don't think it's gonna be for multiplayer. I don't think it's going to come out just for PS5. If it does, I think it's still coming out with PS4. And then maybe they'll convert it to PS5 sometime. But I have that type of hope with it because I think I heard one guy say that, they're going to be working for like next 3 years. They're still going to be working on PS4 games, which would be really great if that was the case, because I love their games and I really would hate that they would literally go right to PS5, and especially with a multiplayer game. And a game that is like attached. It'd be very weird to have a single player for one console and a multiplayer for another console. It'd be kind of weird thing to do. So there's that, and then there's maybe like the HBO series, maybe DLC. I would love to have a DLC. I want Tommy DLC. Have flashbacks with Joel. I want that. I dig that. I saw someone on Twitter say that, and I never thought about it that way. I thought about the DLC with him hunting Abby and the rest of the entire her little posse, but I didn't think about having flashbacks back to Joel and his and Joel's Hunter days. I'd never thought about that. So can we say that there's more stuff coming? Absolutely, we could say there's more stuff coming. We just don't know necessarily what. We know the factions, and that's pretty much it. Then all the stuff that they talked about on or the Last of Us Day, as now they call it. It was previously called Outbreak Day, but they changed it because of the current pandemic crisis we're dealing with. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really going to go deep into this right now because there's not really much to talk about really. But I can tell you this, that whatever they come out with, I'm going to get it. Because I love the Last of Us series. I love the characters, even Abby. Alright? I tell people I have found a way to love Abby. I have. And it's by playing her only. Her first, second, and three days in Seattle. Playing her over and over and over again. And then play... Because after I did all that stuff, I actually kind of fell in love with the characters. With Owen, with Mel, and not as much as Isaac. Isaac was just a complete... He wasn't a guy that he would really like. But I respected him. You didn't really get to spend time with Leia. You don't get to spend time much with... what's the guy's name? Got with the scar that Ellie cut him. I want to say Josh, but I'm not. I don't believe that. Jordan. There we go. Jordan. Him. We don't know much about him. That other guy, I can't put him in a face where it was the guy that Tommy killed. The first thing, because when he did that, that torturous interrogation that Joel did back in the first game, and this is something that Tommy had the same exact knowledge to do. Excuse me, I'm just trying to back up a little bit, but this game, there's so much that they can do with this, and I really hope they do a lot more of this, and they do a great job, and they do what they want to do. They do what they want to do, and they don't stray from that. Because it's just not good, and it's hard to respect people who are afraid to write something that they want to write. It's just terrifying to me. It's a complete formula for disaster, and there's just no reason at all for us to even go down that path, because it's just not going to go anywhere. And once again, it's going to be a disaster piece. But these are all my thoughts on the 11 nominations for Last of Us Part 2 for being Game of the Year. And these are my thoughts about new things coming for The Last of Us Part 2. I'm extremely excited to see what they have next. And I can only tell them one thing. Just do what you want to do, man. You guys make the multiplayer. You guys take the deal with DLC. You do what you guys want to do. Alright? It's your stuff, and I want to play the games that you create. Because these are games that you are creating, not me. Because the game that I would create and everyone else in this game that would create is not the same Last of Us Part 2 that you guys made. And so I just continue to tell you, do the things that you want to do. Make the game you want to do, because I would really only be really into a game if you really into the game. And I can respect that as a writer myself. I can respect that, and I would just tell you to keep on doing what you do. Even though everyone hates you for it. Just, at least you love it. At least it came out the way that you want it to be. And you can have, sometimes that's all you can ask for. That's all you can do. You can't please everyone. And so anyways, guys, I thank you guys for tuning in whenever you're going to be listening to this. I know it's kind of dead in the night, so you may not be watching this soon. But I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. Sorry, I should have said that before. But I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I sure did. I ate a lot. I'm pretty sure I've gained a few pounds because of all the stuff I ate today. But it's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. And I hope you guys have a good day. You can follow me on Twitter. Just T. LeBrand. It has a cross, everything, with Dove right in front of it. I don't upload that much, but I do upload when it matters. And I am kind of on it from time to time. I am. Sometimes I may not be posting, but I am commenting on things regarding games and my own faith. Just throughout the entire thing. If you really want to contact me, just message me, because I have messages up there. There's 2 of them, but get the one where it has a cross with the Dove in front of it. Okay, that's the one that you want to get. That's the one that I'm active on. I created it like a year ago, like a year or 2 ago, and I simply just, I didn't really create on it, but this one I did. This one I'm accurate on. So remember that, a cross with a Dove in the front, and that's it. All right. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that may be. All right, see you guys later.